do we buy it? Do we go out and look to an outside partner, or do we build it ourselves? And we did contemplate that very question. We said, gee, this capacity problem is probably based in queuing theory. We have engineers and process engineers who understand queuing theory. We have really good data scientists who understand the technology. And maybe if we just put them all together, we can figure something out ourselves. But we really, again, looked to drive speed to value, and an outside partner was really key in that decision for us. We also saw it as a way to lower the barriers to entry. It was going to be a lot of work, a heavy IT lift, a heavy lift on operations to help inform our process. And we wanted a way to minimize as much of that upfront work as we possibly could. We wanted to partner as well, because these are problems we know are not unique to us, and that the more we can collaborate with others around these problems through a common platform, that we could also accelerate the innovation, the problem solving, and really do it at scale in a way that was always going to be more quick than our ability to do it internally. So we viewed it as checking all of the boxes and embarked on our work with LeanTaaS. We also really valued what LeanTaaS brings to the table in terms of creating that light lift on internal resources, both our people. It's a light lift from the IT perspective, other than creating the data that inform the model. The rest happens really well in the LeanTaaS platform. And probably even more importantly was the light lift around the financial resource that, again, really lowers the barrier to entry given the model that is presented. And so all of this really contributed for us to what we saw as incredible speed to value. The early tests of change and the data that then make it fairly obvious that we should continue this work. And so again, in our oncology infusion space, and you can see some of the statistics on the right in terms of the results that we were able to achieve in addressing the long wait times, the staff burnout, the cost associated with that, the revenue that we were really leaving on the table as a result of that lack of effective use of our resources. It was also at a time to address the capacity, we were contemplating adding additional infusion chairs, and we were looking to open additional sites. And so the ability to maximize the existing resources was really critical. And again, this tool has allowed us to do that. Again, as you can see on the right, our ability to have more appointments scheduled on a daily basis, more appointments completed on a daily basis, and enhanced effectiveness of the utilization of our scheduling templates. And so in short, the numbers tell us that we were able to grow in the footprint of our existing resources, both space and people, to get that done. Let's change gears a little bit and talk about how we chose to roll this out. As I said, part of getting the buy-in, to me, I always look for a very real problem, not a theoretical one, and strong support from clinical operations, right? They need to really be the champion around advancing the solution and have an investment in solving the problem. And that was clearly the case in our infusion centers. And so we started there. We, again, with quick turnaround on some early results, actually accelerated our deployment across the infusion centers of our Smilow Cancer Hospital, and are now working to put a plan in place to extend to non-chemotherapy infusion based on the results that we've seen.
Overall, we're using our hours in the morning and in the evening much more consistently. So there's less low census for nurses going home early. We're able to have our pharmacy feel very consistent through the day. And we've made some real impact to our ability to kind of increase our patient load despite having fewer chairs. Some additional benefits that we've had is that a LeanTaaS application continues to support us in our scheduling decisions. So it provides diagnostics that show us specific metrics which allow us to make changes on a particular day. The metrics provide us details about where opportunities exist to schedule patients, or where there may be challenges due to the way that we're scheduling, if we've scheduled too many patients in one area. And so that allows us to work ahead to ensure a smooth schedule through the day. Nurses have a more consistent work than, like I previously spoke about, and they're not experiencing those peaks and flows that we were prior to implementation. Because of the success that we've experienced in the Rogo Cancer Center, we're looking at expanding IQ to our other infusion sites. We are working with IQ to strategically open a few of our closed COVID chairs. And we are looking to send our schedule changes real time to IQ so that scheduling decisions can be made at point of care. And we want to look at ways that we can smooth our schedule based off of our provider scheduled clinic days. And IQ has been, will continue to support us on our ongoing training of our cancer center schedulers.
These templates that are built to get patients through quickly, decrease wait times, as you can see from this presentation itself, and to really be patient focused. However, that does mean that some of our scheduling practices had to change. So really just helping those schedulers understand why this is actually better for the patient, and then showing them the data thereafter of why it is better, because the patient can get through more quickly without a lot of wait time, and also nurses that are more readily available to help them too, because our templates are more level loaded and much more efficient. Plan to add some fast track chairs to one of our satellite infusion centers, just based off the data that they were able to provide us, which was so incredibly helpful when we went to in front of the business committee to justify the pro forma. That number one was incredibly helpful and something I could have never have done before IQ. Also, they will help us partner when we go to get patients scheduled into those chairs to create an efficient process and get patients through both in those chairs and our legacy chairs that we have right now, which will accommodate longer infusions. Kind of comes back down to just reminding our scheduling team to use those templates the way they are built, because they are built to accommodate add-ons, and all, as I understand, all based off that predictive and analytical software that is built into our templates on the background. So even though, again, a particular Monday might feel really, very busy, and just no way we could take one more add-on for the day. Again, looking at the data, we are now on a real-time data feed with IQ. We have been for several months now, and that's been incredibly helpful too, to just say, if I've got this ill add-on coming in, it's noon, instead of having to base all of my decisions off historical data on a Monday at noon, I can now look at my templates in real time within IQ and see, okay, wow, it looks like we've got a lot of open chairs opening up with some cancellations we didn't expect, and here are the times that it's looking like we could potentially get this patient in based off real-time data versus just historical data. So I think that added real-time data layer has been extremely helpful, and again has also contributed to our decreased wait time.
Current state, physical space continues to be a constraint for us, and with our volumes ticking back up to pre-COVID volumes, capacity management has been a main focus. We worked with our team at LeanTaaS to explore possibilities for alleviating some of the load, and one of the main areas of opportunity was level loading patients to Tuesdays, which are historically the lowest volume day for us across all of our units. In addition to level loading some of our visits to Tuesdays, we also recently implemented different scripting to align with best practices for scheduling. Historically, our schedulers have asked patients what time they would prefer to come in, and if that time was not available, they just add them to a wait list. And that's frequently the case that the time that they want is not available. So current state, we are offering patients a choice of different available appointments with the hope that one of those times will work for them. And then we can avoid the waitlist process entirely. After the scripting change, we saw an increased utilization of Tuesdays, and we also took our waitlist from a high of nearly 500 patients within a 3-month period to a low of under 100.
"400 infusion centers with 8,500 chairs, which represents 15% of the oncology capacity in the United States every single day, use our IQ for Infusion centers to guide their schedules. It has helped over 3 million patients wait 30 to 40% less during peak hours, while helping infusion centers absorb 10 to 15% of growth without needing to add staff or chairs. And these aren't just any infusion centers. They're the leading ones in the country. 27 out of the 31 NCCNs have all of their chairs optimized under IQ. If your hospital system includes one or more infusion centers, think about what a difference this could make for your patients and the staff that serve them if you are able to harness the value of scalable optimization of the infusion schedule.